This episode of xCogTV is brought to you by Kobe Productions.
Thursday, October 16th, 2014, preliminary shooting, shall we call this dry run, or from the cutting room floor, from which we can look back on this later and go, there's the bloopers reel, but learning process, and thank you so much to Juan Galt for being here with us today. Welcome to xCogTV, where we talk about all of the things that you don't know that people talk about. Challenge your mind, stretch the dimensions of learning in different ways. Okay, Juan, please, if you could tell us then, what took you from the point of being in the education system, you're working through on the typical path, college, university program, and at some point you had an awareness, a feeling of, hey, this isn't right, those are my words. Please tell us, what was that moment for you? When was that? And how did it then take you to the place that you are now with Bitcoin?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the key moment for me, and again, I was always a rebel. I was always a critical thinker, more or less. I was always sort of skeptical, and that has this sort of different reactions from people, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, I was asked. It was grade 11, and I was politics class, my first politics class. I never really been interested in it, and I was asked to Google Somalia, which was basically one of the sort of anarchist countries that are considered anarchist countries that are just happened because political collapse and the system, and we're just fighting for power. So I went and Googled it, right? That was my research study, right? And I found a philosopher online, very, very popular philosopher right now called Stephen Molyneux. And that was the first time that I sort of actually started listening to somebody talk about philosophy, truth, psychology stuff that really kind of like, whoa, this really fascinates me. And that's a big topic that we can go into deeper into sort of my thoughts about school itself. But that was the awakening moment for me on a lot of things, right?
Okay, so that was grade 11.
That was grade 11.
But you still stayed in the system and went through to follow the traditional path.
Yes.
Including the social work program.
Yes. And
studying psychology to go along with that. At what point then did Bitcoin show up and first become on your radar, shall we say? Where did you first become aware? How did that happen for you?
I was in college, studying social work, Everest College, private college. And it was halfway through the year, and through this philosopher, he's a libertarian philosopher, and Bitcoin hit the libertarian waves around before it got to about $30 a piece. So if you look at the Bitcoin price line, it sort of got from 0 and then went to about $5, then boom, went to 30, and then went back down to about $5 and stayed around $5 for about a year, more or less. And then it went to 100 and 200, and so when it really hit the mainstream, it got to about $1,200 and then fell to about $600. It's been around between 600 to 300 for the past year. That spike was last winter, basically.
And so that happened
while I got into it when it was about 30, going up to 30, and I was in college, so I actually went and did a presentation about Bitcoin for my school. Like, this is amazing, right? I was already a libertarian, more or less, right? So I was just like, okay, well, I got to present this to people, and I actually have a video of that.
And how did people receive that then? So I just heard you identify yourself as libertarian, so following the teachings and the learnings that you had seen from grade 11 moving forward, Bitcoin comes on the scene. That, you said, fits with the libertarian movement. What was the reaction then? Because I'm assuming you were excited to do a presentation within your own school about it. What was the reaction then from the student body or the people you presented for? How did they feel in comparison to your passion for it?
I got a couple of people that were interested. One of them actually got some Bitcoin, a little bit of Bitcoin. Back then it was like half a Bitcoin these days, right? So it's like $300 now. He bought it he got it for free, I think, right? And he was interested in it. I don't know where he's at on that right now. I haven't talked in a while. It's like a schoolmate type of thing, right? And then somebody else was, for the most part, people were just like, I don't think people understand economics even today. They don't really understand how money works, right? For me, it was like I already understood economics. I understood politics, and I was a little bit into sort of social media, internet, technology stuff like that. That was so to me like it made sense economically speaking. Like libertarians understand money fairly well, or at least study it a lot, right? And so it clicked for me. But a lot of people I don't think really understand it. So they were just kind of like.
Okay, very interesting. And for people who are watching this video, you mentioned about understanding the monetary system. Rather than re-educate everybody from the beginning, because I've seen some of those educational videos, and they're quite lengthy. It is very interesting and can be, I would say, mind-bending for some people, because they can literally challenge one's viewpoint of our entire financial system and how it works. Do you have any favorite places that people could go and look on the internet, or that you would recommend if people wanted to bring themselves up to speed on what is that education piece that got you to this point of understanding financial systems? Is there a particular type of video or something? Where would you recommend people go?
The Mises Institute. The Mises Institute does a lot of economic-based Austrian economics, which is what it's called. There's sort of Chicago economics. It's a related economics theory of how money works, how people transact, how value is derived in transactions, and how it doesn't work, right? And
okay.
So Mises Institute, that's great.
And we'll put those links in video description so people can go check those out for themselves at the end of the video, of course. Any others of interest, or is that the main teaching point for you?
I think that's the best place to go and learn from about economics. I think, yeah. Stephen Molly talks about it a bit as well, but if you want to go deep into economics, that's the place to go.